The alarm goes off at 5 a.m. Instead of getting out of bed, you reach for the phone and you're swiping through a feed. The promise you made the night before, to exercise, to study, to build your business, disappears. Minutes slip away in the dark, and suddenly it's 6:12 a.m. The day hasn't even started, and the first battle is already lost. Society has a simple explanation for this behavior. They call it laziness. They say you lack willpower. But intelligence and ambition are rarely the actual problem. The real obstacle is entirely internal. Your brain was built to keep you alive, and its ancient survival mechanisms actively resist modern success. You are experiencing a literal biological conflict. Inside your skull, two competing operating systems fight for control over your actions every single day. To understand why this happens, we have to go back roughly 300,000 years. In this ancestral environment, human beings faced constant threats. Food was scarce, and a single mistake meant death. In that brutal landscape, securing immediate calorie-dense rewards and saving physical energy were highly effective survival strategies. Resting wasn't laziness, it was a biological advantage. Deep inside your brain, the limbic system evolved to drive these rapid, impulse-based decisions. It demands comfort and safety right now. Directly behind your forehead is the prefrontal cortex. This is the newer, modern region responsible for planning, weighing long-term consequences, and delaying gratification. But evolution heavily favored the limbic system. Waiting to eat or acting for a future benefit was risky when tomorrow was never guaranteed. When you struggle to get out of bed or start a difficult task, your ancient survival software is functioning flawlessly. It simply doesn't realize that the environment around it has changed. The modern world is built to exploit those ancient instincts. We shifted from competing for physical resources to competing for human attention. Thousands of companies now spend billions to keep your eyes locked on their platforms. Digital interfaces are engineered to deliver unpredictable, variable rewards. Because you never know what the next swipe will reveal, your brain releases massive amounts of dopamine, ensuring you keep pulling the lever. People try to fight this engineering by waiting until they feel motivated. But emotions are biologically designed to be temporary. They fluctuate constantly and cannot sustain long-term focus. This diagram breaks down the four-stage habit loop: cue, craving, response, and reward. An environmental trigger instantly creates a craving, forcing you to act. You execute the response, getting a reward. Repeat this, and your brain physically wires it into an automatic reflex. You defeat this cycle by removing the cue. By placing the phone in another room, you eliminate the trigger entirely, allowing your prefrontal cortex to guide your actions without a fight. Most people focus on setting massive goals, but a goal simply gives you a temporary destination. Lasting behavioral shifts require building a new identity. Every single small micro-action you complete acts as a psychological vote for the kind of person you are. You choose to read one page, you cast a vote for being a reader. The human brain actively seeks consistency between its internal beliefs and its external actions. As you accumulate evidence of your discipline, doing the difficult work begins to feel natural. This graph illustrates the compound effect of those tiny daily choices. Progress remains flat and completely invisible for long periods, until it eventually breaks out into a sharp, undeniable upward spike. The rest of the world sees that peak and assumes it came from a sudden burst of genius or inspiration. But it is almost always the product of a person relentlessly protecting their attention over months and years. You do not need to wait for motivation. The life you want is constructed through the quiet, ordinary repetition of your very next decision.